Hi, it's Jen. Today I'm going to share with you something that I created last week that I'm just getting to taping today. I hope everybody's doing well. And so today I'm going to just quickly share, as you can tell with the title, that I did hidden paper clips. Now, if you're not aware of what a hidden paper clip is, I have a bigger one here to share with you. What you do is you have a base. Now, I decided to use cardstock as my base. But basically what it is, you would take a paper clip, and the smaller ones of course, and then you just put it on your piece of cardstock. Now you don't want to put it on so it's really tight and it bends your paper. You just want to put it on there so it slides on nicely. And then with the same paper, you cover the other side. And so now half of that paper clip is hidden. Now, I've seen people where they did the exact same step to both sides of the paper clip, so that even this white piece would be covered. Now, that's your choice how you would like to do it. Today, I'm just going to share with you just this one, and I kept the back of it open, so that way, if you put this on a page, the back of it, of your paper clip is there still. But you could cover this one as well. That's just your choice. So I thought I would begin by sharing you the ones that I created. Now, I first started with a simple one, and I just did a ruffle. So this is just material ruffle that I sewed. Now, just a quick tip, if you're going to do a ruffle like this, you're going to want to sew it back and forth a few times, because I did one and I only did it once thinking that that would be enough, and it was really weak. And although you're gluing your ruffle onto a base, if you have anything hanging on the back side, it's not going to be stable enough. So I found that if you're going to sew a ruffle, you're going to want to sew it 2 or 3 times just to give it that strength. Anyway, so I started with something easy, and then I thought if you wanted just to keep it simple, you could put, I have a video that I would put a card up on the right hand side that shows you how I decorate safety pins. And so you could, I'm not going to do it right now, but you could thread that through and have that as a little decoration if you needed something a little bit more. Well, then I decided to put a step up to the first one and to put a cluster of stuff in the middle. And so the reason why I first started doing these hidden paper clips was because I was doing ephemera for my junk journal that I'm making to give away to one of my subscribers. And when I put the piece of ephemera in the junk journal, the paper clip scratched the piece of ephemera. So I'll just bring that ephemera in, and I don't know if you can see it right here. There's a white piece here. That was scratched by a paper clip. And so I thought, you know, I really need to figure out something that can hold my ephemera pieces that are more susceptible to being scratched. And so this is what I came up with. And so this one I did to hold my piece of ephemera. So I thought that would be really pretty in junk journals. So there's my second one. Well, then as I was doing that one, I thought, well, maybe I don't want something so big, right? So I came up with a medium-sized one, where you only have, this has 5 ruffles. So that one has 5 ruffles. Well, the one down here only has 3. Well, then I thought, well, even if you don't want it even that big, I just made one with the cluster right here. So these are the first ones that I started off with, and I think they're really cute. Now, the small one, I really like that one because you can stick that in your journal. Here, I'll show you. Say you have a journal card and you want to decorate it up a bit, you can just stick that on the side of it or even on the top of it. You don't even have to use it. You don't have to use these to attach anything to a page. You can just use it to decorate ephemera or what have you. And I was also, I'll show this right now. I was also going to share with you an idea that I think I'm going to do myself. And so this is, I'm just going to share with you the junk journal that I'm making to give away. And so an idea that I had was using them as pull tabs. So putting them on, see, I was going to decorate this journal card, but I just really loved everything about it. And so I thought that would be really cute to stick one on. And then now when somebody needs to take it out, there you go. And not only that, when they journal on the back side, and if they want to put a piece of ephemera there, they can. So I thought that was kind of neat to be in a journal. And then I thought, well, wouldn't these be a good idea to be tabs in our journal? So have about 5 or 6 of them on the edges, and then that way when people buy it, if they don't like where the tabs are, they can move them around. So I really like the versatility that these have, and I really like this one to be for here. It just adds a little bit of something else to my page. So that is an idea. Well then, let me just bring this all in again. Well then I made one, a smaller one, out of paper, and I used a postage stamp shape for the outside. And I thought, well, wouldn't that look cute decorating a postage card? And again, these can hang. If you have pockets in your journals, you can hang stuff on the front of them using these. The possibilities are endless how you use these in your journals. So I thought I really liked that one. Let me just gather these off. And then the next one I did was, because this is my style, I love cross-stitching pictures and what have you, and I thought that would look really sweet in a journal to hold pieces of ephemera. I did one that kind of looks like a tassel. Now I have on my channel as well, I have a flat tassel tutorial that you can go watch, but I use kind of like the same thing here where you can have a flat tassel, and it just decorates your pieces just a little bit more, but then doesn't take up any space on your pieces. So I really like this idea as well. Well, then I made a lace one out of different laces. Thought that was a really pretty one. Made one out of laces. And so what I thought I would share with you today, I thought I would share with you the size of the base that I use. I have 2 sizes that I have, and then I thought I would show you, I did a couple other decorating ideas, and I thought that's what I would share with you today, the size of the paper clips that I'm using. And so I thought I would just share with you all of that today. So I'll just put this off to the side. Now I have 2 different sizes. I have a smaller size and then a bigger size. Now the reason why my measurements are the way they are, when I create, I don't usually measure when I just make stuff. I usually measure after I make it if I like it. And so for this size, for my smaller one, it's a 1 inch by 15/16. You could just make it a total 1 inch square if you wanted. And then this one again is 1 5/8 and 15 by 15/16. And again, you can make it an inch, an even inch. It just depends on what you want. But how I was finding it, the reason for these, as I was doing my different clusters and whatnot, I found that making this just that 1/16 shy of an inch helped it, so that way things wouldn't be seen all the way around. And then all I do is I do use tea-dyed white cardstock, ink all around the outside, and then I just slip in my paper clip. Now the larger paper clip, the length of it is 1 1/4 inches long. My smaller paper clip, it's 7/8 inches long. And then again, just ink around your edges, just slip it on nice and easy. And then what I did is I used a fabric tack to glue it all down. And then when I glue it, I make sure that I do it on the inside of the paper clip on either sides, and then all around my cardstock. There we go, kind of move that over to the corners. Once I started making these, I was having a lot of fun. And then I was finding myself, I stopped working on my journal and working on these, so I had to discipline myself to be focused and work on that journal, because I'm trying to get it done for you folks. So this week and last week I've been busy preparing and getting things ready in the house for my family. I just find that it takes me a while to get a video going, and so last week I just didn't get a chance. All right, and so you just make sure that's all glued on. I make sure it's equal all around the edges. All right, and then I just let it, and I'm gonna just quickly do this if you don't mind. I just glue all around the edges. And you have to make these your own style. You know, just, you may not like even this, my style here, but whatever your style is, these will work. And then if the size of the bases won't work for you, you just got to play around with it. That's what I tend to find, that I just have to play around with stuff and just make it work for me, right? Now, I know I already had mentioned about the sewing around them. So after I glue them, I do a bunch at a time, and then what I would do is just, I would go and after they're dry, just go sew all the way around it. Now, you don't need to sew. There's a couple that I didn't sew, and they're fine. Which other one did I not? But you don't need to sew. I didn't sew this one here, and it's fine. I just find that it decorates it a little bit more. This one I sewed around it a few times. I thought that looked kind of neat, actually. So yeah, you just let these dry. Just do a bunch up, and then now I just wanted to quickly share with you again, just because I had to learn this the hard way. When you do decide to sew, how I do it is I start on the inside. So here is the post of your paper clip. I start right on the inside of that. I sew really slow right here, because you know the other post is right here. And as you're guiding your needle, and if you're gonna hit the next post, I would just move your project over and continue sewing. And then you sew all around the edge until you get to your next post. And that way, again, like I showed you before, you have freedom to stick this right up against your book, and then you decide how much you're going to have hanging off the side. And so I have some that are already sewed. Now, before you put anything on to the fronts of it, you need to figure out the direction you want your piece to go. So for my small piece right here, I did a snippet. Now, if you have snippet rolls already made, you can cut from them and then sew right onto your piece here. So I'm just going to take a few minutes. I'm going to sew, not to sew, but to glue this on there. And I do leave the ends of my sewing and then I glue it down. That way I don't have the stuff on the back of my base peeling up. So I just glued all around it. Then what I do usually is I just put it down on my mat and I glue it and I try to get it so that it weighs equal. And then I just push down. And that's why I like to use cardstock, so you have a good base. And then there's your back, and then here's your front. So I just have a snippet, just of little bits and pieces that I have around on my desk. And so I just did, and there you go. So there's that one. And then on this one, I did one. I wanted to share with you that however big your base is, you can put just a piece of paper right on top of it. So this that I did, this is going to be another video, that paper, at a later time, but I just cut it the exact same length and width of this base, and I didn't even use cardstock for that. And so you're going to want to make sure you're glued all around your corners. And then this is just going to sit right on top. This one you're going to want to make sure you have it totally equal on all sides. I have a wipe going here, so I'll just, there we go. And there we go. And now, so they don't always have to be material, they don't always have to be paper, they don't always have to be lace. The rules are your own. You can just create whatever. Make it into the style of book that it's going into. And then if you need to hold the paper down, you can always use clips. And so this one I have going from the right hand side, so that way adds something a little bit different to my book. Sorry, I'm just trying to make sure it's getting all squished down. And then for this one, how I'm decorating this, I got a little collage of lace and cheesecloth and a button. I sewed that all together, and I'm just going to glue that on. And again, I'm going to use fabric tack, and I'm going to glue right over top of the button, just because this glue squishes out and I don't want it to get on. So you want to make sure that you got it where you want it. And there you go. And so now you have a paper one. So these can be, again, whatever you want. I think that's what hindered me from starting making these, because I'm thinking, oh, I don't know if that's going to suit, you know, my style or my books that I'm making. And so just tweak it. I guess this would be better. Seam on a piece of tea dye paper. And there you go. And I think these are really sweet. They don't have to be large. They don't have to be small either. It's just whatever you desire. If you like the medium ones, you can just do all medium ones. If you want to do small, it's just, again, your style. So I thought I would just share with you some of the hidden paper clips that I've been making, because I was hesitant to try these at first as well. But then now that I've started making them, I'm enjoying myself immensely, and they're fun to create and to try to figure out new ways that you can use them. So again, I'm just going to share the measurements just so that way you'll know. So this base is 1 5/8 of an inch by 15/16. This, the smaller one, is 1 inch by 15/16. And then this paper clip measures, the length is 1 1/4 inches long. This one is 7/8 of an inch long. So those are the measurements. Did use card, and then I'm just going to stick in here as well all of the ones that I've made, and then so we can see. So I've even been trying to figure out what other ones I could be, what other materials I could use, or what have you. And I really like the idea of using them as your tabs in your journals, because that way you can move them around and you're not stuck to just one thing. So, and I'm just going to put this in here again. And so here's my page. I'm just going to flip it. And then this, I really like this. I really like this one here. I just think that it suits it. And again, I'm going to be using these as my tabs. So I encourage you, go into your craft space. If you've been hesitant on making any of these because maybe they haven't been your style, that the ones that you have seen, or maybe you just didn't see a need. My need arose when I actually scratched a piece of my ephemera with using just a plain paper clip. So then that's when my need arose, and I think this one would look really cute just on the side of this pocket. It just adds a little bit of something, you know. And if you want it a little bit fancier, you could always add that one. So I encourage you, go into your craft space, make them, and as you make them, you'll start getting more ideas. And that is all I wanted to share with you today. I hope you enjoyed the different ones that I've made here, and I hope you give it a try. I want to thank you for watching. I want to welcome any new subscribers that we have. Thank you for subscribing, and I hope you find things on this channel that you can make and adapt and even make your own. So I hope everybody's doing well. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.